Good evening, friends. Today, we're going to try a slightly different format where I show you my face for once instead of just my hands. Today's topic of discussion is this very special issue of Nintendo Power. This is volume 18, November and December 1990. The game in question is Dr. Mario. This one's in really good condition. I got it for about $9, and I was surprised because the poster is still inside. So let's take a brief second to just gaze at this beautiful cover before we dive in. We've got this clay Dr. Mario and virus setup, which is very reminiscent of the first issue of Nintendo Power, which was Mario Brothers 2, which also had a similar format. Alright, well, let's dive right in. Okay, folks, the glare on this thing is going to be driving me crazy, so I'm sorry about that. We can see from the cover that we've got Castlevania 2, Solar Jetman, and Little Nemo Dream Master. All three of these games are very special games. Really phenomenal games. Let's just open up here. First thing we have is this Gift of Power. It's a Christmas postcard order form for Nintendo Power subscription if you want to get that as a gift. This is the November-December issue, so naturally you would be seeing some Christmas advertisements. And if you look over here, you'll see there's some gifts wrapped under the Christmas tree. There's a Mega Man ornament, a little Mario 3. I assume that's Horsehead from Zelda 2. And some issues of Nintendo Power. What better way to stuff someone's stocking than with the power? We've got a Princess, Luigi, Link. I dare say this person is going to have a phenomenal year. Got the Player's Pulse. This is where people write in to the editors of Nintendo Power. Let's read one of them. Say, it's lights out. When I finally beat Bowser in Super Mario Bros. 3, my brother and I wanted to take a picture, so we turned off all the lights. Unfortunately, the lights were all connected to the wall socket, and it turned off my darn game. Sorry, Nathan Boot from Vancouver, Washington. That is a sad story. One hot game. One day my brother was playing Double Dragon 2 when my mom smelled a fire. Everyone had to evacuate. We left so fast, he forgot to pause his game. Smoke was coming from the laundry room, but it was just a lint fire. Just a lint fire, by the way, can burn your house down, so, there's no such thing as just a lint fire. Oh, and, look right here. Are you desperate? That's a loaded question, my friend, but this is a way you can, write and ask questions about games, etc., etc. I love this really goofy art up here, like this really chunky marker art. This is really cool. You've got these, big nose, goofy little cartoon guys. Obviously, this guy's like Simon Belmont. Mega Man. I like how casual that art is. So, Solar Jetman. Solar Jetman, I believe Rare created this game. And it involves taking a bunch of pieces of your spaceship and reassembling them so you can get... I can't remember where. So we've got this really cool page of items here. Homing missiles, smart bombs, star bullets, military bullet system, efficient engines, anti-gravity time bomb, multi-warhead missiles, super shield, double strength thrusters. I love items so much, guys. I can't tell you how much I love items. They are my favorite. I love items. I adore them. I love the limited palette here. This cream and blue palette. It's really soothing to look at, isn't it? And also, I love how this spaceship just kind of looks like it's made out of Legos or something that you could put together if you like took apart your toaster. Just that's really fun. We've got some very nice level maps, as Nintendo Power are wanted to have. Let's look at some of the names of these planets. Mexomorph, Omebru, Corso Quasro, Baki, Lamonte. Who came up with these? They're very fun. Who came up with those? I really like those fun names. They almost sound like they're all from different languages. Like this sounds like it could be like Latin based. This is, clearly like a European word, or maybe Japanese even. Lamonte. That's another Latin sounding one. It's kind of fruit based. I guess a lot of them are actually Latin in origin, so maybe I'm just wrong. But they still sound cool and fun. Let's look at some more planets. Chorlton. Okay, well that's obviously American or British. Shish kebab. Zlaz Tortoise. That's the kind of stuff that was just all over the place back in the day. You had a lot of like alien stuff that was like Znarbulon X. Zlaz Tortoise. That's right up that alley. Mipplzer. Shamigen. Shanku. Ooh round. When I see stuff like ooh round, I kind of wonder if someone just had a word on their mind, or someone's name, and they're like, let's just scramble a bunch of letters together. Let's just pick up everyone's name here and just scramble all the names up, and what we get, we get. Let's keep going. Howard and Nestor, a comic series based on Howard Phillips, and Nestor, I assume would be like NES, like that Nintendo Entertainment System. This one I love. I love this one. One of the reasons this is such a special issue is because the comic is based on Maniac Mansion, and here's one of my favorite video game characters of all time, Green Tentacle. I love Green Tentacle. Here's a Razor. She's like the punk rock girl. There's Dead Cousin Ted in the bathtub. A lot of what you see here is the comic is in the format of tips and tricks. So you read the comic and you can sort of squirrel out the hints from it. This is back in the day before walkthroughs were a thing. So we would just have these. And as is often said, like playground, like on the playground at recess, which was in fact where a lot of video game knowledge was traded. So here we have Little Nemo Dream Master. Let me pause for 1 second. Here we have Little Nemo Dream Master. We owned this game when we were kids. Solar Jetman we only rented, so I didn't own that one. But I did have this one. I think we got it for Christmas one year. And wow, oh wow, is this game phenomenal, but also phenomenally difficult. It is a very difficult game. I think they just did an episode about this on James and Mike Mondays on Cinemassacre, where James was just like really bumbling through it, but he did his best, from being an inductee. So here we go over some of the costumes you can acquire. In the game, you throw candy at certain animals. They're usually stationary and kind of looking around. You throw candy at them, they eat it, and you can enter their body in this weird way where you wear their, like a cloak of them. So there's a lizard that you can ride, a mole who you can enter. There's a frog that you can jump around in. A gorilla whose back you can ride. Look at this really fun art. This is like this kind of cute chibi style. I'm really glad they used this here. I like the curtains here. Another fun fact, just to throw in, there was an anime that came out. It preceded the game in Japan, but it came after the game in America. And the anime is it's absolutely fantastic. It's beautifully done. It's so beautiful, you guys. Please go see that movie if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you can find a copy on it, online, or download it from. I've never seen it on a streaming service, but it's phenomenal. It's based on the Winsor McCay newspaper strip comic from way back in the day. This was like during the Art Deco period, so Bill Watterson has commented that like it's a bit lifeless and static, but at the same time, it's so lush and rich and sometimes racist, so watch out for that. But it's really an amazing comic, and the game and the anime do it justice, and sometimes even upstage it, I dare say. So, let's keep going. This game is brutally difficult, if I haven't mentioned that. It's so hard. There are these, like, dandelion seeds that have, like, chompy mouths on them that come down and make platforming almost impossible. Here's some more animals you can ride. A little crab, a little hermit crab. A fish with big white gloves. Does he punch? I don't know. I think he might. Oh, and there's I think he's the Nightmare King. Is the last boss, the King of Nightmare Land. Really good, like, bleh, he's making this big bleh face. I don't know, just a really great, and a fantastic soundtrack, if I haven't mentioned. That game has one of the best soundtracks on the NES, if you haven't heard it already. Okay, this is like the meat of our Nintendo Power sandwich. This is where you dive in. You see one of these things on the shelf, you grab it, you go straight here, because this is where you're looking for stuff. Super Mario Bros. 3. Here's another reason why this is a crucial episode. Where are the warp whistles and how do I use them? Now, anyone who grew up watching The Wizard, starring Fred Savage, knows how to find the first whistle. But this also tells you how to find the one in Desert Land, which you have to get by breaking a rock. It tells you about the duck behind the white block trick. It's a lot. These are so important to get. So you don't just hop out of World 1 the minute you get those whistles. You get 2 of them in World 1, you get 1 in World 2. And they're so, like, this is one of the most important things in Mario 3. And it's really good that it's here in this issue. Crystalis is so good. It's as good as The Legend of Zelda, and in some ways worse and in some ways better. It's got its own strengths and weaknesses, but the storyline is just so engrossing and cool. The battling is a little grindy at times. The soundtrack is great. The opening is great. SNK produced this game. And it's in their collection, their SNK Classics collection on the Nintendo Switch, and I think other consoles. It's such a great game, you guys. You don't even understand. And apparently, visually, it borrows a lot from Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, I'm told. Tombs and Treasure. This is a point-and-click adventure set in Amazonia, I guess. No. It's set in Mexico. It's set in the city of Chichen Itza, and the varying temple structures and other buildings that surround that complex. It's got battle in it, which is unique for a point-and-click adventure game. It's got a battle system. The mood of this game is only rivaled by Shadowgate in terms of point-and-clicks, and I guess The Uninvited. All those Kemco games and this one kind of share a sort of spirit to them. They're really great. Here, the gameplay counselors. You will find the best mullets in this section. Each one of these guys has a mullet. All 4 of them have mullets. Look at those mullets. Really good mullets. Fantastic mullets. Brian Anderson, great mullet. Favorite NES game, Castlevania 3. Choice pick. Very good pick. Favorite NES game, Legacy of the Wizard. Ooh, we've got a thinker here. That game is hard as nails. Ooh, I have never beaten that game. I've played it a few times. Don't love it. But I understand it's part of the Dragon Slayer family of games, Faxanadu, in my opinion, is the superior game. Play Faxanadu, please. This guy, Kirk Starr, his favorite game is Mega Man 2, a classic, one of the best platforms in the system. And Sean, this is Final Fantasy. These, I mean, could you have asked for a better, like, predictor of what would be considered like the ultimate classic games for that system? Alright, here we go. To the main feature, Dr. Mario. I recently became re-interested in this game. I never enjoyed it that much, but I tried to get back into it because my friend gave me a complete in box copy, and I was like, I can't just not play it now that I have it complete in box. Like, I gotta play it. And I found a way to enjoy it in a way that I hadn't before. I don't know why. Let's take a look right here at Dr. Mario, looking through his big magnifying glass at this little virus that's sticking out their tongues, making fun of him. I like the distortion here. That's a really nice touch. Isn't that a nice touch? Here he is chasing that virus. You can't gang it us. This guy's always sticking his tongue out. I love it. So we go over the controls, some strategies. Here's an image that is constantly used in memes. This Mario and Luigi playing Dr. Mario together. This has been repurposed for a lot of memes on social media. Another crucial piece of Nintendo Power history. Here we've got Mario not knowing what to do with those pills. And this is just how you can adjust the skill and speed levels and the music types. I know a lot of people like Fever better, but Chill is my favorite Dr. Mario theme. On the subject of Dr. Mario World, I've also been... on the subject of Dr. Mario, I've been playing Dr. Mario World a lot lately. And if I miscalled Dr. Mario World at any point during this video, I'm sorry. I've been playing that game religiously. I don't like that it has all the trappings of a free-to-play game. I mean, it is what it is. But it's got some nice touches. The push up instead of the pills coming down is very good for mobile because you can just kind of swipe it up. What else? Oh, this is official chart. Hey, look, guys, if we give them the medicine, they go away. See, this says it right here. The red ones take longer. I don't know why. I like all the different characters you can play as in Dr. Mario World. I find that the two-player, the versus mode, is very laggy because, you don't know what the person's connection is like in Japan or wherever you're playing. And I'd say about half the people I play against are Japanese. I'm kind of stuck in tier 4, and I don't know if I can ever get past it because I've kind of hit a skill plateau. I have this thing with puzzle games, like stacking puzzle games, where I just can't get any better after a certain point. Okay. So some more tips. There's not a lot you can really get for a game like that from Nintendo Power. You kind of just have to figure that game out on your own. Anyway, special feature Game Boy. Oh, yes. So the Game Boy was relatively new at this time, and they're just going to take a little, leap into some Game Boy games. Here we've got DuckTales, which is a faithful port, I'm told. Dr. Mario, which was a huge seller on the Game Boy. RoboCop, and some football. Look at this fun DuckTales art. Why are his eyes solid blue? I don't know. So yeah, this looks like almost identical to the NES version. You've got the Amazon, Transylvania, African mines, the moon, the Himalayas. I believe in the Japanese version, in the original version of the game, they wanted to just call it like haunted house and jungle, but the translator just decided to set them in like real world locations, which is weird because this might seem a little like a performative morality kind of thing, but it's a bit weird that you're this rich white duck going into African mines and stealing all their jewels. Like, it's a little it's a bit that. So here's the Game Boy Dr. Mario. The art is still very cute and crisp. I just love that you can tell how much of this was done with traditional media. Look at this chunky little pen drawing of a I don't know what this is. It's supposed to be a medical device. Oh, no, I see. It's the link cable. It's the top of the Game Boy and a link cable. Okay. So you can play hit. RoboCop. Not much to say here. It's RoboCop. I forget this actor's name, but I just saw him in Deliverance the other day. I had never seen Deliverance, and I was like, I want to see Deliverance. And he plays this, like, nerdy, morally, he's an insurance adjuster. He's going on a camping trip with Burt Reynolds and John Voight, and he doesn't belong out there, and his sense of morality is more traditional, whereas Burt Reynolds is like the law of the jungle, that kind of thing. So, but it's funny to see him go from that like absolute milquetoast insurance salesman guy to this like horrible corporate overlord who just could not care less if people die left and right from his terrible inventions. So that's funny. It's a funny juxtaposition, and that's the mark of a good actor. Football, let's just keep going. Game Boy Classified, some tips and tricks with the Game Boy. What do we got here? What do we got that's special? Shanghai, that's like a tile puzzle game. Tetris, Heart Levels. Just in case you didn't notice this one in your Tetris manual, here's how you can start the game at a high speed. At the title screen, press and hold down on the control pad. Then press start, choose the game and level, and begin. A heart symbol will be added to your level, making the game extra fast. You know, if you're not a big enough glutton for punishment already. Heavyweight Championship Boxing, never played it. Dead Heat Scramble, never played that. Final Fantasy Legend, the first of the Saga games. This game is so good. I love this game. I love playing as monsters. Whenever I play, I pick 2 monsters as my supporting characters. Batman, Cosmo Tank. I don't know a lot of these games, you guys. Let's see, now playing, coming soon. These are the games that are popular, and these are the games that you can expect. Top 10 Game Boy, Super Mario Land, of course. What a cute and fun game. Gargoyle's Quest, a side series based on the Ghosts and Goblins franchise. We've got, what else? Batman. I don't know how this compares to the Sunsoft one on the NES. Tell me if it's any good. Tetris, a classic. Golf, supposedly great. Daedalian Opus, never played it. Castlevania The Adventure. Mixed reviews I've heard. Nemesis, don't know it. Alleyway, isn't that just like a Breakout clone? And NFL football, who cares? What do they got coming out on the Game Boy? Let's see. We've got Electronic Arts is developing a skateboarding game for the Game Boy, tentatively titled Tour de Thrash. Sounds great. Capcom is planning to continue association with Disney by developing Game Boy games, ranging from Mickey Mouse to Roger Rabbit. That's good to hear. Etc., etc. So on. What is this? The long-awaited Game Boy role-playing adventure from Kemco Seika is now titled The Dove and the Key. We hope to see it sometime next year. What is that? What is The Dove and the Key? What is that? I've got to look into that. Okay, so look at this poster. This poster. Oh my God. Look at this poster. Oh my God. Look at it. This is the Mega Man 3 poster. We had this poster. We didn't have a subscription to Nintendo Power, so I don't know how we got this poster, but we had it. And we had this game, which is a great Mega Man game. It's almost as good as Mega Man 2. Dare I say equally good? It's a great game. We've got a Sparkman. I think that's his name. Snake Man. God, it's been a while. Magnet Man. Needle Man is down here. Hard Man, Top Man. Oh, what are these guys? Is Gemini Man one of them? It's been a while. Anyway, here's Dr. Wild. I just love how they all have this. I mean, a couple of them have like a cool face, like Sparkman has a cool face. Needleman has a cool face. But a lot of them just have this weird dead-eyed look. Like, what is that look? Why were they so scared of anime and manga style art? I don't know. So anyway, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, is hands down the best Castlevania game on the NES. And I personally like it better than Super Castlevania 4. I know a lot of people like Super Castlevania 4 the best. I don't understand. I don't love that game. It's cool, but this game is just so dang good. It's ordered a little weirdly. I don't quite know why. Oh, you know what? It looks like someone stapled this magazine back in almost. It's weird. Huh. That's bizarre. I mean, surely they didn't, but they may have. Maybe they wanted to scan it. I don't know. Go forth, destroy Dracula with the knowledge of a master. A trip into Castlevania's past. Right, so this is a prequel to Castlevania 1. This is Simon's grandfather, Trevor Belmont, who's probably the cooler Belmont, and is currently the star of the Netflix Castlevania series, which is done by Powerhouse Animation out of Austin, Texas. I love this game map. I really love it. I love the sepia tone film opening. The opening of this game on the NES, it's like a real film playing. Like you can see the film perforations on the side. It's really great. It was so beautiful when it came out, and it's still beautiful now. Simon's Quest, which is the second Castlevania, took a totally different approach than this game, but this one went back to the tradition of the first game, which is just a typical side-scrolling linear platformer. But there's branching pathways, and those branching pathways help you locate your friend on this voyage. It's either going to be Grant Dynasty, I think that's his name. He's a thief and a circus performer. Alucard, who is Dracula's son, and Sypha the magician, who is revealed, spoiler alert, who is revealed at the end to be a woman. A la Samus in Metroid. It's a very that was like a big thing in the time. Like, oh, I've been playing as a girl. I don't know why they just were so afraid of like having girls be the main characters in their games. I don't know why. Let's read this history here. A century before Simon Belmont gained fame for defeating Dracula, his forefather Trevor also battled the evil Count. When Dracula recently marshaled his undead armies to sweep through Europe, the people called for a hero. And young Trevor Belmont answered, here's some weapons at your disposal. The dagger, the boomerang. I don't know why they call it the boomerang. Oh, I know why. You couldn't use a lot of overt religion or religious references in your games to have the official Nintendo seal of approval. So they changed the Holy Cross to the boomerang. Similarly, holy water is sacred water. And the axe. The axe is great if you are on a multi-tiered level and you need to get someone above you. Let's see. Yeah. The clock tower level in this. Oh, my kid's awake. I might have to pause this and continue later. We'll see. Yeah, they're awake. That's cute. The clock tower level is just absolutely phenomenal. This was such an amazing thing on the Nintendo. The clock tower it was so fantastic. All the big moving gears. It was epic. It was so tactile and epic and interesting. There was really just nothing like it at the time. There's Sypha Belnades. Aha. Here we go. Let's pause. Okay, friends. Where were we? I believe we left off with Castlevania 3. So, there's the Haunted Ship level. Oh, what's this? The lore of the great vampire hunters. The Mystic Whip symbol. The Mystic Whip symbol will appear when you break a candle or defeat an enemy and have 4 or more hearts. The second symbol will appear when you have 8 or more hearts. Collect both to fully power up Trevor's whip and Alucard's fireballs. Ah, yeah. Something else. Oh, I like these drawings too. Look at this like goofy looking toad up here. He's very well put together. Oh, the slimy mud man. He got a big old bat. It's hard to see down here because of the glare, but there he is. Ah, Dracula already. Although you wouldn't think from the decor that a vampire lives here, that appears to be what attacks you when you reach this area. Of course, this is no ordinary vampire, but it is Alucard, the lost son of Dracula. You'll have to prove yourself in combat against him before he'll become your ally. A swarm of bats, Alucard can't be damaged, but he can't hurt you either. Wait for the swarm to come together into a humanoid form, then hit him in the head and destroy his fireballs with your whip. Yeah, I very rarely do this fight against Alucard because I'm always going for Sypha. I love playing as Sypha. So I usually have to beat that Cyclops instead. I love that you always I love fighting Frankenstein's monster. It's such a trope to have these like vampires and Wolfman and creatures from the Black Lagoon and all that other stuff. Yeah, speaking of creatures from the Black Lagoon, it's like all the Universal monsters got together every time they made one of these Castlevania games. Okay, let's see. I love Bone Dragons. Bone Dragon King. Man, I haven't played this game in a while. I don't remember this fight. They always like to keep the ending a secret, so you get this here. Now that there is no turning back, you have reached Curse Castle, home of Count Dracula. Is it really called Curse Castle? And the deadliest challenges of your journey lie ahead. Ooh. The top 30. Nintendo Power always has a top 30 games. Of course, at number 1 is Super Mario 3. That guy. This was the biggest deal. I guess this would have been around the time. Yeah, this would have been shortly after Mario 3 came out, I guess. Because that came out in 1990 or was it 89? I don't know. Maybe it just held that place for a long time because it was that good. Final Fantasy, brilliant. A game changer in role-playing. Mega Man 2, of course. I mean, look at these top games. These are like the cream of the crop. Mario 3, Final Fantasy, Mega Man 2, Tetris, Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 1, Super Mario 2, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which is scooting ahead of The Legend of Zelda, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can't speak for that. 11, Crystalis, Baseball Stars, don't really care about. Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. How is that below that? I have no clue. Super C, a fantastic sequel. Batman by Sunsoft. Battle of Olympus. Love that game. It's very Zelda 2-like, though. Metroid. Shadowgate. Heck yeah, number 19, Shadowgate. Guys, I'm a huge Shadowgate fanboy, and I am more than certain I'm going to make another Shadowgate video in the near future. Double Dragon 2. Metal Gear 2. Wizardry. Lolo 2, heck yeah. Mega Man 1, wow, still there. 24, Punch Out, Kid Cool, Tombs and Treasures, which we talked about before. Castlevania 2, which we also talked about before. Mega Man 3, which we also talked about before. And at 30, definitely last but definitely not least, Bionic Commando, a brilliant game. Let's see, what have we here? Ah, yes. So, look at this goofy guy. We've got players' picks, pros' picks, and dealers' picks. So these are what game sellers like the most. These are what, like the people who work at Nintendo Power, stuff like that, like the most. And these are what players are voting on right here. Classified information. Here's a bunch of like tricks and tips, like secret cool stuff. 2 Bowsers. Oh yeah, I've seen that trick before. What else do we got? Ninja Gaiden. Sound tests. Iron Sword. Extra lives. Snake Rattle and Roll. Warp zones. Wanted special agents. Can you imagine having that job? What a sick job that'd be. That'd be the best. Double Dragon, trade punches. What does that mean? Oh, you can steal a player from your... Okay, that's cool. Solstice, an interesting puzzle game. Magic of Scheherazade. I asked for this for Christmas one year, didn't get it. That's okay. But I should play this sometime. I've never played Magic of Scheherazade. Tecmo Bowl, me. Okay, here's like some new games that recently came out. Digger. Never played it. Pipe Dream. God almighty. I could play Pipe Dream for hours and hours. I adore this game. It is so addicting. I've wasted entire nights, and by the time I'm done, I have no idea where they've gone. Pipe Dream is so addictive. This version was released by LucasArts. But God, the music, it's really cute, and it kind of reminds you a little bit of like the music from Maniac Mansion. It's that same style. Street Fighter 2010, that confused a lot of us because we thought it would be related to Street Fighter, and it wasn't. This seemed to have an emperor. This is like a role-playing strategy game that takes place during like feudal China. Here's a bunch of like recent releases here. Let's see if we can find some notable ones. Dr. Mario, of course, since that's what this one's about. Castlevania 3, beautiful. Dragon Warrior 2, never played it. Gremlins 2, I hear good things. Little Nemo, of course, beautiful, perfect. Mega Man 3, fantastic. Mendel Palace, that's another puzzle game I've been wanting to play. Palamedes, I know that that they've talked about this on Cinemassacre. I know that James and Mike really like this game a lot. Super Glow Ball's a stinker. Don't worry about that one. Time Lord, oh god, this game has such a neat vibe and such a good soundtrack, but it's just impossible. I've never been able to get through it. And Yo Noid. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is the preview for the Nintendo Power Official Strategy Guide series. There was 4 total released. There was one for Mario 3. We used to have that when I was a kid. I lost it, and then I reacquired it recently at Retropalooza in Houston. Ninja Gaiden 2, which I don't own, but I will eventually. I have this Final Fantasy one. It's got some really wild art in it, like really goofy looking art. It's the exact opposite of like Amano's art. I don't know. And then they don't show it here, but the 4-player one, it's got like a sports title, which is, it's unfortunate because it's got Swords and Serpent in it, which is a really cool role-playing game. Achievers, here's like some people's high scores. Oh, look at that right there. Who's that you see? Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak has a high score in Tetris that's better than one of these people. Zexus is a great game. Let's see. Do we see any other famous people in here? I don't recognize these names. Who are these people? That's just really funny that the Woz is in there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see a lot of famous faces in here. Maybe these are just active readers of the magazine. Who knows? Oh gosh, guys. This pack watch is beautiful, but also really depressing, and we're about to find out why. So first we have the great Kemco point-and-click adventure Deja Vu, which is like a hard-boiled detective who wakes up. He was drugged, and you gotta clear your name because you've been framed for murder. Really good music, really good mood, and multiple endings depending on how good of a job you do clearing your name. Mega Man 3, beautiful as always. The Simpsons. I never liked these games. Youth Expo 90 with a Skate or Die theme. Look at these cool skating. Look at these skaters. Look at that. Oh, Skate or Die 2. What? Guys, I don't like Skate or Die at all. I find it really boring and difficult. But it's got an interesting... it's interesting in its place in history because it kind of encompasses a feeling of that area of like things being bad, like Michael Jackson, Bart Simpson bad, not like bad, but like cool bad. Anyway, here we go. Here it is. Here's the killer. Nintendo has fun in 1991. Earthbound. Oh my goodness. Due out in the fall of 91 is Earthbound, an epic adventure with gameplay like Final Fantasy set in a modern world. Baseball bats and PSI psychic powers take the place of sword and sorcery. The main character, a kid with latent psi talents, searches for the truth behind the legend about a mysterious ancestor. That's a weird way of wording it, but yeah. Anyway, his grandfather, he means. Earthbound was released as Mother in Japan, features a giant world to explore, tons of puzzles, and a touch of humor. This game was set to be released in America in 91, and they dropped it at the last minute because they wanted to just focus on the Super Nintendo release of Mother 2, which became known as Earthbound later. So we could have had this, and it was teased right here. It was teased right here on this page. Page 89 of Volume 18 of Nintendo Power. When I saw this, my jaw dropped to the floor because I had totally forgotten. I didn't know it was teased in here. Although we do... Also, SimCity. Did SimCity ever come out for the NES? I don't think it did. This also didn't get released until the Super Nintendo. Look at that. We could have had an NES SimCity and the first Mother game, and we didn't get either of these. What the heck? Super Famicom. Here's where we get teasers about the Super Nintendo. Oh my goodness. This is also huge. Guys, do you see this? Do you see why this issue of Nintendo Power is so crucial? Look at these things. Earthbound, never released. And then the first glimpse of the Super Nintendo. They're really like building up to something great in this issue. And also, we get a little peek at Star Tropics, which thankfully we did get. I've never played it, but I do want to. And it is on the Switch Online for the NES, so I'm probably going to play it that way. But yeah, I mean, look at what we could have had. Which is sad, but what we did get, which is good. It's just, it's amazing. Shadow of the Ninja, we did get that. Did we get Werewolf? Maybe. Conquest of the Crystal Palace. Kabuki Quantum Fighter, what a wild game. That game is really neat. It's like one of these side-scrolling beat-em-up games like Batman and Power Blade. But you're like a cyberspace Kabuki guy. And you whip people with your hair and you can use it to like platform and stuff. It's really cool. Some sports stuff, blah blah blah, who cares? Celebrity profile. This is where they go into like a celebrity's like video game enthusiasm. We got a Gossip Galore, which is, what is that? I don't know. Oh, it's just stuff that's in development. What else? Powerfest. This is where they focus on people talk about their achievements, and sometimes people will write in about their kids. Look at this guy. Only 7.5 years old. Nicholas is the youngest finalist so far. Oh yeah, all these. Look at this. Look at this 80s goodness, man. And we're about to enter 1990. You can see it. You can see it with like the spiked hair. Bulletin board, back issue. Oh, Captain Nintendo. So this is like stuff that you can call. So they're pointing out that like here, Nintendo has lost the license to Mike Tyson, so it's being re-released as just Punch Out. You can order back issues of Nintendo Power. God, could you imagine if you had gotten those all back in the day and you got rid of them and now you don't have them anymore? Trying to regather all that. Here's that advertisement again for the strategy guide. Here's some highlights coming up from next issue. The Immortal God, no thank you. And just a nice little happy holiday message from Nintendo Power, courtesy of Howard Phillips. Players Poll Contest. Win a trip to the Super Bowl. That's cool. So, 4 players on the NES, that was like a big deal. And this NES Satellite, I believe, is what you use to play 4 players. Alright, and that's it. That's the back. And then one of these goofy looking advertisements. Oh no, the 4 score is how you played it. What did the satellite do? I don't know. I could look into it, I guess. I could have done some research, but whatever, it's fine. Anyway, guys, thanks for kind of hanging out with me and taking a trip down memory lane through this very cool and very special issue of Nintendo Power. You know, doing these videos where we go through books, magazines, that's my favorite thing, and it's been a while since I've made one because life's just been very busy lately. I've been working on some art commissions, I've been doing some supplemental education for my career, and I just don't have time between all that and raising a kid to do a lot of videos. But, you know, it's nice to get another one out, so maybe it won't be that long until we see each other again. Until next time, friends, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.